अरहंत सिद्ध सुर उपाध्याय साधु सर्व अर्थ के प्रकाशी मांगलिक उपकारी है। तीन को स्वरूप जानी रागते भई जो भक्ति काय को नमाए स्तुति को उच्चारी है। धन्य धन्य तुम्ही से काज सब आज भयो कर जोरी बारंबार वंदना हमारी है। मंगल कल्याण सुख ऐसो हम चाहते हो मेरी ऐसी दशा जैसी तुम धारी है। हो मेरी ऐसी दशा जैसी तुम धारी है। So today's discussion is on cause and effect relationship. So before we start this, I would like some feedback. This is our 8th class. So it has been 2 months that we have started this course. And I would like to get a feedback from few of you, maybe 2, 3. What is your experience? What transformation have you undergone by understanding these topics? Can anyone share? Yeah,
Sir, I would like to share, sir.
yeah,
Sir, I haven't attended all the classes, but I have attended only 2 classes. I was in between busy with some work, so I
okay,
couldn't attend. But even in these 2 classes, there are a lot of changes in me. As in, when things are happening, I'm not taking it to my heart
hmm,
because of the thing which you explained about the misconception. What is uh, you've given us 4 aspects where you say कि जो भी हो रहा है, it is not because of. So something has to happen. So there are a lot of things. I'm not taking that much of stress.
okay,
Things happen. Momentary is there. It's
right,
there momentary.
right,
Don't deny it. But then
right,
when I analyze things,
yeah,
that has gone.
okay,
Momentary, I feel like crying. Something happens. I feel like crying. But then
yeah,
when
yeah,
all these concepts I think about it, that has
right,
gone.
right, right. What about
I
you, Aisha?
Sorry, sir, I just joined. I missed the question.
So question is that it has been almost 2 months. Today we are having our 8th class. So in these 2 months, do you see any changes in your life?
Yes, tremendously. I think I'm still I, s- I um the concepts are helping me
In your
see the
practical life?
view,
Yeah,
yes, view the world differently, but it's still hard to
right, right,
in my
right.
day-to-day emotions, so when the emotions come of hurt,
Okay.
of those
Yeah,
things I'm still struggling with,
figuring
but
out, figuring out.
yes, but I still yeah, it's a huge help in how I
Okay,
view the
okay.
world, completely changed that.
So today's my topic of discussion is that these things have happened not because of this course. Okay. The world sees like this, that these changes has happened just because I joined this course and because I attend this class. But today we are going to discuss that any action that is taking place in you, you are only responsible for that. And the external substance like this course or the teacher or the material are all just an instrumental cause. Okay. So that's why I asked the feedback. In the world, conventionally we say like that, my life has changed because of this, because of Jinwani, because of that. We say many things, but what is the actual technology working behind all these? That is what we are going to understand today. Okay. So if I say an engineer makes a computer, sweet is made by the sweet maker, clothes is made by the tailor, and furniture is made by the carpenter. All these statements are conventional statement. Okay. It is being said from the point of view of an instrumental cause. Okay. But in worldly existence, we say all this very oftenly, and we believe that clothes are made by the tailor only. Okay. If the tailor would not have been there, how would the clothes would have been made? Very simple. But here we are going to understand that clothes, tailor is just an instrumental cause. Clothes is made by the clothes itself. Furniture is made by the wood. Carpenter is just an instrumental cause. Okay. So we believe that the clothes has been made by the tailor, the furniture has been made by the carpenter, but the omniscient who have seen all the things as they are clearly negate all these beliefs. So what is the nature of causes? How does any action takes place? Who is the actual doer of the activity? What is the role of instrumental causes? We are going to discuss this in this topic today on cause and effect relationship. Okay. So what is this cause and effect relationship? Okay, let me share the
So you
PPT.
want me to share?
Okay, you are there?
Yes, I'm
So
here.
I have shared you the PPT in your personal chat.
Yeah.
You can share
Okay,
that.
sir. Okay, sir.
I'll make you a co-host first. Okay, then only you can share. So this is Hemali Shah is you only?
Yes, sir. I've just
I was
logged in from
confused.
my phone
Okay, okay.
because,
So you will be able to share from phone?
sir, I'll log in from my computer. So I'm at home only. Sure,
So
sir.
then I have to make you co-host from another ID, right?
Sir, but it's no, sir.
Okay,
I'm just joining, sir. 1 second from my
yeah,
computer,
you
and
join and then
I
I
have
will.
I have the PPT also, sir.
Okay. Otherwise, let me see if I can do it. There is nothing like it. Let me see. So yeah, leave it, Hemali, I have done it.
Okay, sir. I've joined actually from my computer.
No
Okay,
problem.
sir.
I'll do.
Okay.
Yes. Now you could see?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So under the cause and effect relationship, which is called in Hindi Karan Karya Sambandh. Okay. We are going to discuss two things. Instrumental cause and principal cause. Instrumental cause is Nimit and principal cause is Upadan. These Hindi words have become so familiar that using the English word would be a bit difficult, but anyway, we would be using the English words only. But you have to understand that whenever I say instrumental cause, it is Nimit, and whenever I say principal cause is Upadan. And the other topic that is going to be connected with this topic is 5 concomitant factors, also called 5 samvai. Okay. So both of these topics we are going to discuss today. So first we are discussing instrumental cause and principal cause. Okay. So for any action to take place, there are causes, multiple causes. Okay. So first we will understand what is the action, and then we will understand what is the cause, the definitions, and the different types of causes, and so and so. Okay. So first of all, effect, action, deed, it all means the same thing, the karya, the work. Okay. So action is a more popular word, so we would be using action again, but in actuality it is cause and effect relationship that is very famous. Okay. So for effect we will be using the word action. Mode. So other names for this same words are mode, state, condition, transformation, modification, karma, that is karya, upade, that which is attained, naimittik. So these are the words used for this action. Okay. We must identify both the instrumental cause and principal cause in any action. Okay. So our topic of discussion would be that for each and every action, there are many causes that are responsible for that action. So we have to identify among those causes which are the instrumental causes and which are the principal causes. Okay. So subtleness of this action. So this action is the modification. It's one modification out of infinite attributes and modification in a substance. So you can see one substance having infinite attributes. Each attribute is having one modification at a time, and we are going to discuss the sum total of one each time's modification. So you can understand how subtleness of things that we are going to discuss. So this one moment or one modification cannot be comprehended by our limited sensory and scriptural knowledge. Okay, it can only be comprehended by omniscience in real time. What we come to know that I just passed through an anger is a cluster of modification and not one modification. And today we are going to discuss the causes behind action of one modification. Okay, so obviously it's very subtle, but nevertheless the omniscient have explained it in their scriptures through lineage which the scriptures have come. So we will be able to understand with the help of those scriptures. Okay, so if that one modification cannot be comprehended by our limited knowledge, sensory knowledge and scriptural knowledge, then why we are chasing the instrumental causes? Okay, this is all futile, because when we are not able to know the action in real time, okay, then what is the use of understanding the causes and the behind that action? Okay, so it is subtle, but with little bit of awareness and attention, we will be able to understand it. It is a characteristics, not the goal. Okay, so this action is the characteristics. Okay, it is not the goal. Action is the characteristics by which we can acquire the knowledge of the cause. So cause is our goal, because for any action to transform, there are causes behind it. And if we know what is the cause, then we can very well manifest the action. Okay, so this is all about action. Okay, now we will see what is the cause. Okay, so cause is the thing that produces the activity or the action. Okay, so no effect or no action occurs without a cause. So if you desire an effect, identify and seek out its cause. Example, to sweeten the milk, you have to add sugar. Okay, so sugar is the cause. If the action is not manifested, that means if the milk doesn't become sweet, then you have not got the right causes. Maybe you have put in salt instead of sugar. You have mistaken salt instead of sugar. So the milk is not sweet because you have not put in the right cause. So it is very necessary that we identify the right causes behind any action, and by identifying the right causes and working behind it, we will get the desired action. Okay, so behind any action there are multiple causes. So we will be discussing two broad category of causes. One is the principal cause and the other is instrumental cause. Okay, one is principal cause and another is instrumental cause. So before we get into this discussion, first we would like to see the object of this class, why we are studying. So this principal cause and the instrumental cause, they are, whether understanding the causes, principal causes and instrumental causes is a science or art. What do you say? It is a science or art? It is a science also, because everything will be logically explained, and it is an art also. It is a skill also. So basically it is both science and art. So if we want to say in one word, we can say that this is scientific art. Okay, so this is very subtle and very scientific and very logical. Okay, so we will be giving all the logics behind each and every actions. So what is the object? The first object is to get rid of delusion. Because we are not able to understand the causes behind the action, the delusion persists. So our first objective of understanding this class would be to get rid of delusion and manifest right belief. So the moment the delusion goes, the right belief gets manifested. Okay. So for understanding or for manifesting this right belief, we have to know both the causes, principal cause and instrumental cause. Knowing one will not serve the purpose. The next point is to take shelter of the self and give up dependency on the non-self. By understanding this principle of principal cause and instrumental cause, we would like to take shelter of the self. Because once you have understood this principle, automatically your upyog, the active consciousness, will incline towards yourself, and you will manifest the self-realization. Okay. And the moment you do that, the dependency on the non-self always go away. Third point, knowledge of the independent nature of action. Each action happening every moment throughout the universe, and each action is independent. Okay, it is not dependent on anything. The action itself is independent in itself. And the last point is right understanding and right effort. So if we understand this principle in the right manner, then only we will be able to put in the right efforts. Okay. From time immemorial, we want to be happy, but we never put in the right effort. And so the desired result has not come. Now with the understanding this class, we would like to have the right understanding about the principal cause and instrumental cause, and then only the right effort will manifest. Another reason is that the entire Jinvani, is written in the form of principal cause and instrumental cause. So right understanding of both of these is necessary. Another point which will come again later on also, but I would like to refer here also what it was. I was about to add something and then it went away. Leave it. It will come in the later slides that then we will discuss. Let it be. So first we will understand what is principal cause and what is instrumental cause, and then we will come back to this chart. Okay. So hold on to this chart for a few minutes. We will first understand the definitions, and then we will come back to this chart and I'll explain you the whole technology behind the principal cause and instrumental cause through this chart only. Okay, because the chart is so comprehensive that it has got everything in one place. So first of all, what is the definition of principal cause? Upadan Karan. Okay, the substance that transforms itself into the action is called the principal cause. Okay, so the substance that transforms itself into the action is called the principal cause. Now we see the definition of instrumental cause, and then we will give an example to understand both of these. Okay. Instrumental cause, the substance that does not transform itself into the action, but is deemed suitable, assumed to be suitable for the intended activity. That means the instrumental cause, that is nimit, it does not directly participate in the production of the object. Okay, it does not directly participate. Okay, it does not directly transform itself into the action, but is deemed suitable for the intended activity. That means its presence is always there when the action takes place. Okay, so that is nimit. Now we'll see with an example, two examples we will see to understand what is principal cause and what is instrumental cause. Example first, in making a pot, clay is the principal cause because the clay transforms into the action, that is pot. Okay, in this example, pot is the action and clay is the Upadan Karan, okay? Principal clause. While the potter's wheel, rod, screw, and the potter are the instrumental causes. So in worldly existence, we say that potter is the maker of the pot. But here the science says that no, pot has been manufactured with clay. So clay is the principal cause. And all others like potter's wheel, potter, rod, screw are all instrumental causes. Another example we will see, furniture. Okay. So furniture is made out of the wood. So what is the principal cause? Wood is the principal cause. Okay. And carpenter, saw, hammer, screws, etc. are all instrumental cause. Okay. So I hope now what is principal cause and what is instrumental cause, that is clear. The same action that is called upadey from the perspective of the upadan. Upadan means the principal cause, okay, is called the same action that is called upadey. Okay. So from the perspective of the principal cause, the same action is called upadey. And from the perspective of nimit, that is the instrumental cause, the same action is called nemitic. So in this example of furniture, okay, so wood is the principal cause. Then what is upadey? So upadey is the action and that is the furniture. So furniture is upadey. So wooden and furniture have this relationship of upadan, upadey. Okay. The second is when you see from the perspective of nimit. Okay. So who are the nimits? Who were the nimits in the furniture? The carpenter, the the saw, the hammer, the screws, okay? All these were instrumental causes. So from the perspective of the instrumental cause, okay, which is the carpenter and etc., furniture is called the nemitic, okay? So from the perspective of nimit, it is called nemitic. From the perspective of upadan, it is called upadey. So upadey and nemitic are two different words, but it means the same action. The action is of the making of furniture, okay? So why these two different terminology? So when we want to show the action within one substance, then we will use the word upadan and upadey. And when we want to show the action between two substances, then we will use the word nimit and nemitic. So nimit and nemitic is the relationship between two substances. Nimit is always the external substance and nemitic, which is the action, that is the another substance. Okay. So between two substances, we call it as nimit nemitic relationship. Between one substance, if we want to show this relationship, we call it that upadan upadey relationship. Okay. So this word upadey is not the same as that we use in worth taking shelter, worth taking, worth manifesting, worth adapting, not that upadey as we understood in Hey Gnei Upadey. Okay. This word upadey means the action, only the action. Okay. So this has been clarified. Now this principal cause is of two types. Okay. This principal cause, upadan karan, is of two types. First one, eternal principal cause, trikali upadan karan. And the second one was momentary principal cause, shanik upadan karan. Shanik means momentary, and the same common word principal cause is upadan karan. And trikali, that which exists all the three times, past, present and future, that is called eternal. Eternal means that which has no beginning and no end. Okay. So that is called eternal principal cause. Okay. Now the definitions of both of these. Eternal principal cause, okay? The substance or attribute that transform itself into the action is called the eternal principal cause. So in the example of that furniture, wood is the eternal principal cause, okay? Then what is the momentary principal cause? So momentary principal cause could be explained in two ways. The first way, in the beginningless and endless flow of modifications, flow of mods in the substance and attributes, the immediately preceding moment's mode, okay? So every moment, new modification is coming up, the old modification is getting destroyed or extinct, okay? New modification is evolving, the older modification is getting extinct, okay? So this is happening on a continuous basis. So supposing there are 97, 98, 99, 100, so many of modification. So when you reach 98, 97 is destroyed, 98 is evolved. When you move into the next 99, so evolution is number 99 and extinction is number 98. So it so goes on, okay? So in the beginningless and endless flow of modes of substance and attributes, modes in substance and attributes, the immediately preceding moment's mode, 97, is the immediate prior modification cause, okay, which is also called effort, okay, and the immediately succeeding moment's mode, that is mode number 98. 97 is prior, so the immediately succeeding moment's mode 98 is the action. If you make 99 the action, then 98 would be immediate prior modification, okay. So what is the cause for this 99? 98 is the cause. What is the cause for this 98? 97 is the cause, okay. So immediate prior modification will always be the cause, and the immediate succeeding moment's mode, which is the action, okay, that is the action. The other way to talk about this momentary principal cause is the capability of the mode of that moment, okay, where the action takes place. The capability of the mode of that moment to occur at that very moment is the cause, okay, and that same mode is the action. So in the second case, we are understanding that the cause is also same moment and action is also in the same moment. So one moment is having both cause and action. Cause and action happening in the same mode, okay. So the capability of the moment, of the mode of that moment to occur at that very moment is the cause, and that same mode is the action. So again, in the example of the furniture, okay, so furniture is the cause, okay, momentary cause, and the action, that the furniture that has been made, is the action, okay, same moment. And this is explained, this is termed as eligibility of the present moment or eligibility of the moment, simple, okay. So eligibility of the moment. So every moment there is an action, and that action takes place because of the eligibility of the present moment, okay. So this is all. It is also called tat samay ki yogyata. In Hindi it is called tat samay. Tat samay means that moment, and yogyata is the eligibility or the capability. In short, we will mention it as TSY. tat samay ki yogyata, TSY, tat samay ki yogyata, or EPM, eligibility of the present moment, okay. Whatever we will be using this terminology, okay. TSY is the most popular, so maybe sometimes we will use TSY or the eligibility of the present moment, okay. So before we go on to the instrumental cause, first we will see the chart and understand how this process is taking up. So we have a rough idea of the instrumental cause, the definition, the divisions and subdivisions we are going later on. First, let's understand from this chart. One. Okay, so Karan is the cause. Then we have two types of causes, principal cause and instrumental cause, Upadan and Nimitta. Now this principal cause is again divided into two. This also we have discussed, eternal principal cause, that is called Trikali Upadan Karan, and the Kshanik Upadan, okay, momentary principal cause, okay. Now, which is the controlling factor, okay? If you say that furniture has been made out of wood, so wood is the controlling factor, okay? So then I will say that wood was there, but if the effort is not undertaken, okay, that is called immediate prior modification, and the action that has taken place is called the eligibility of the moment, okay. So this was wood was anyway present all the time because it is the eternal principal cause, okay. So that was always present. So why the furniture? Okay, we will say, we will take a specific example. The chair has been made out of wood, okay. So why the chair was not manifested? If this was sufficient, the wood was sufficient, then chair would have been made. But chair was not made. Chair was only made when there was this effort, immediate prior modification. Now this immediate prior modification is not only the, say, 98. If the action has taken place on the 99th modification, then immediate prior is 98. But when we think of the effort, it is 1 to 98. It is not only 98 is the effort, okay. 1 to 98, it is a sequence of effort that has been undergoing on, and then we have got the final product of the chair, okay. So although it is said as immediate prior modification, so that is 98, but we will consider 1 to 98 in that, okay, because that is what defines the effort, Purusharth, okay. And now the final action. So out of these two, eternal and the momentary principal cause, which is the controlling nature, okay. So we see that the wood was always present, but the action has not taken place. So this is not the controlling factor of the action. So what is the controlling factor of the action? Then we come back to this analysis of momentary principal cause. So we have got two actions. We have got two divisions, okay. First one is the immediate prior modification, and the second one is the eligibility of the moment. Now, if you want to say who is the controller of process, then we would say that is the immediate prior modification, Purusharth, okay. And what is the controller of time? Okay, Kal Niyamak, okay. And here it is Vidhi Niyamak. Vidhi Niyamak is controller of process, okay. And here it is Kal Niyamak. So it is called controller of time, okay. So we will come back to this discussion again. Let's understand the other components in this too. So Swabhav is the nature, okay. Trikali Upadan, eternal principal cause, is the Swabhav, that is wood, nature, okay. This says that if the action will take place, it will take place in this substance only. So if the furniture is made, it will made out of wood only. It cannot be made out of water or anything else, okay. So Swabhav defines that the action will take place in this particular substance. Now this particular eternal principal cause is incapable, because the chair has not been made. Wood has been present all the time, but all the time the action does not take place. So we cannot consider this cause as the controlling cause, controlling nature. Okay. So this is not the controlling factor. Okay. So that's why it is called incapable. Then we have this Dravya Shakti, and here we have Paryay Shakti. So Paryay Shakti is called capable. Okay. This is Samarth, though this is capable because the action takes place in these two. Okay. So this is the capable cause. Okay. And as these have Dravya Shakti, substance power, okay, which is Nitya, eternal, always eternal. This is called Paryay Shakti, okay. That is called modification power. So this power, the inherent power is of two kinds. One is substance power and one is modification power. Out of this, modification power is the most powerful because the action takes place because of this modification power. Okay. So we have three controllers. If you ask what is the controller of nature, then I would say wood is the controller of nature because wood is made into chair. Okay. If you say what is the controller of process, then immediate prior modification, that is Purusharth or effort, that is the controller of process. And if you say what is the controller of time or the action, then we will say that tat samay ki yogyata, eligibility of the moment. Okay. That is called the controller of time because the action has taken place here. Okay. This is still the immediate prior modification. This is the final outcome, that is the eligibility of the moment. Okay. So understanding this, we come to the conclusion that although the principal causes is of two types, okay, eternal and momentary, out of these two, eternal is not the controlling factor of the action. Okay. Eternal principal cause is the controlling factor of nature. That means the action will take place in this substance. But when the action will take place and how the action will take place, that answer we will get from the momentary principal cause. Okay. So this momentary principal cause is of two types. First is the immediate prior modification, and the final one is the eligibility of the moment. Now this eligibility of the moment includes two factors. One is the attainment of time and the other is bhavitavya or the destiny. Okay. So attainment of time is the time when the action has taken place. And what is destiny? Destiny is itself the action. Okay. So these two put together consist of eligibility of the moment. Okay. So out of the 5 concomitant factors, one is Swabhav. Okay. So that is included in the eternal principle. Then we have this Purusharth, that is effort, that is in the immediate prior modification. Then we have Tat Samay ki Yogyata, that is eligibility of the moment, wherein 2 factors have been included, Kallabdhi and Bhavitavya. And of course, the Nimit remains the same in both the cases. So the technology that is working behind the principle of causes in both the cases is same, only the words have changed. So either we discuss principal cause and instrumental cause, or we discuss 5 concomitant factors. Both defines how the action has taken place. Okay. So for any action to take place, there are multiple causes. Okay. So in this second scenario, we have found out 5 causes, and in the first one, we have initially found 2 causes, that is eternal principle, principal and instrumental. Again dividing principal into 2, eternal and momentary. Again dividing momentary into 2, immediate prior modification and the eligibility of the moment. So if you add to this all together, then here we have Swabhav, then this one, then this 3, and Nimit 4, because these 2 contains 2. So in one case it is 4, in the Nimit Upadan case it is the 4 factors, And in the 5 concomitant factors, it is the 5 factors, because eligibility of the moment encompasses 2 factors: Kallabdhi, that is attainment of time, and Bhavitavya, destiny. Okay, controller of time. So, for any action to take place, we again come back to the example, like wood was always there, but the chair was not being made. Okay, so then we came to the momentary principal clause, and out of this we came to know that immediate prior modification is the effort that has gone onto the woods, the process, whole process from woods to the finished chair. The entire process is immediate prior modification. And the final action, that is the destiny, is the chair itself. Okay. Now, while these all actions were happening, there was this instrumental cause, okay, which was always present. Okay. In fact, this instrumental cause is visible. Okay. And the principal cause is not visible. So we always say, just at the beginning of the class, I asked 2 students to share. Yeah. So Aisha and one more student, I think Chetna, they both said that this class, joining this course has transformed my life. There are changes coming up in my life. Okay. So it is very apparent that because of this course, you have been benefited. But that is not the real cause. Okay. Conventionally, you may say, and that is accepted. But if you dwell deep into the causes, then you will realize that it is your own capability, that the right time has come. Your destiny is also like that. And you have also been working. You have joined the course. You are attending classes regularly. Then only you are able to understand. Okay. So it is the eligibility of the moment of your own modification that has manifested into action. Okay. I and the course and the Jinvani may be the instrumental cause. Okay. But it is at the end of the day, your own upadan, your own principal cause, that is the defining factor of the action. Action has taken place in you, the transformation has happened in you, and it is because of you only that it has happened. Okay. Of course, there was presence of the instrumental cause. Okay. So, generally speaking, the psychology behind understanding this is that what we see across is always the instrumental cause. And then we will put the onus on that instrumental cause for the action to take place. But if you go deep into this and analyze like this, then you will realize, oh, it is my right time has come. I have been wandering, I've been transmigrating since time immemorial. I never got to know this kind of knowledge. And now the right time has come because of my past good deeds. Okay. It's not easy to get up to this far. How many people are able to get to this kind of knowledge? Very few. Total Jains out of the total populations that we have across world, leave alone across world, in India, only 0.40% is Jain. Okay. 99.60% is non-Jain. And out of these Jains, there are many sects. How many have this kind of scriptures? And if the scriptures are there, how many are ready to study? How many are ready to getting the chance to get to this kind of knowledge? So it is becoming very rare. Okay. So all this has happened just because some past good deeds that you have done. So you are having access to this kind of teachings and preachings and knowledge. Okay. So it is your own transformation that is happening. And of course, the instrumental cause will always be some outside there as an external factor. But we cannot say that because of that external factor, things have happened in you. The understanding has developed in you on its own. Okay. It is the soul's upadan. Soul is the principal cause for that. We can also say the belief attribute is the eternal principal cause. And then immediate prior modification is the effort that you have taken to join this course and attend the class regularly. and the final action, that the understanding that you have developed, the decisions that you have done on that is the final action. Okay. So I hope everyone is good with what I have taught so far. So then we will move out to the Nimit factor, and then we'll also come back into some of these discussions again. But right now, everyone is clear, or do you have any questions? You can unmute and ask. Quick.
So, sir, this is Isha. So, in the example that you just gave, that the transformation is happening within ourselves,
Mhm.
and so that is because we have that attribute within ourselves to transform. So that's the first
Yes,
eternal.
very good.
Then um, for the immediate prior modification, that one is that we
Join the
are
course, attending
join
the
the course.
classes.
Okay, so that is number two. And then the three is that it was supposed to happen at this moment in time.
Right. The
Okay.
eligibility of the moment has come. So that's why you are joining the classes, understanding it, and the action is taken place, the transformation that you have undergone. Okay.
Let's see. Okay.
Good, good.
Thank
Anyone
you.
else? Any questions? I think you are all good. So we will move to the discussions on Nimit now. Okay. So we have discussed this. Now instrumental cause. Okay. So instrumental cause has two distinctions. Two types of distinctions, in fact. One is the motivational. The second, motivational and indifferent is one pair of distinction. Another pair is internal and external. And there are 2, 3 more, but I have not included in this. I don't want to confuse you. But these two are important, so I have included this. And we will see what are these two. In the origination of any action, all nimitters, all instrumental causes are indifferent, just like the medium of motion. Now you will not understand. We'll go to the chart and understand. So this is nimit, instrumental cause. There are two types, two pairs. Okay, type 1 and type 2. Type 1, prerak, it is called motivational instrumental cause. Then udasin, that is indifferent instrumental cause. Both are instrumental cause. One thing very clear, okay? Motivational is also an instrumental cause and indifferent is also an instrumental cause. Who is a motivational cause? Like in the case of the furniture being made, the carpenter is the motivational instrumental cause. Why? Because the carpenter has the desire to make the furniture, and the uh, carpenter is also making movements. Okay. So wood has been cut and then it has been fixed and joined and the chair is made. Okay. So because he is he's having desire also and he's having activity also, that is why it is called the motivational instrumental cause. Okay. So which two are the substance which makes the motivational instrumental cause? Soul and matter. Out of 6 substance, soul and matter are part of motivational instrumental cause, and the other 4 substance like medium of motion, medium of rest, then space and time. Okay, dharma, adharma, akash, kal. These are the indifferent instrumental cause. Why they are indifferent? Because they don't have desire. It is devoid of desire first, and these are inactive. So for any action to take place, these 4 causes will always be there. You can add in the indifferent instrumental cause, all these 4 would be there. So in the case of furniture, motivational would be only the carpenter, okay, and the rest like the screw, the hammer, the saw will come under indifferent instrumental cause, because those are matter substance and they don't have what you call desire also, and they are inactive also. Okay. But here again, there is one thing that I need to clarify: soul and matter. So how does the matter becomes a motivational cause? Because the matter doesn't have desire. Okay. So we will see an example. In the ocean, the waves are coming. Okay. Every moment in the ocean, the waves are coming. Okay. So the ocean is the eternal principal cause. Okay. And waves are the final action. Okay. Tat samay ki yogyata. Right. And what is the instrumental cause in this case? Because it is the ocean manifesting into waves. Right. So there is no person involved. So what is the motivational instrumental cause in that? Wind. Okay. So because wind is active, so it is the motivational instrumental cause, although the wind doesn't have desire. Okay. So only in case of soul, the desire we can include, and in case of matter, only activity we have to see. Okay. So in some examples where the humans are not involved, there in that case, the wind, like the making of a tree, the sunlight can be an instrumental cause, motivational instrumental cause. Okay. So that is again a matter substance. It doesn't have any desire, but that is also considered as motivational cause because it is active. It is uh, part of the action. Okay. Now the indifferent. So what would be the indifferent instrumental cause in the furniture? The screw, the hammer, the saw, and we will always include these four, because if the medium of motion won't be there, then the hammer cannot move, right? If the medium of rest would be not there, then the hammer cannot be kept in the ground. Okay. The chair would always keep on moving. So how the carpenter will make? So medium of motion is also an indifferent instrumental cause. Medium of rest is also an instrumental cause. The space has given us the time. The space has given us the Akash has given us the space has given us the place for performing that activity. And the time is an instrumental cause for the transformation of the wood into the chair. Okay. So all these are indifferent instrumental cause. So when I give you any example, okay, you have to tell in the indifferent instrumental cause whatever is there that you will say. But apart from that, these four will always remain constant as indifferent instrumental cause. Okay. Now we'll consider the second one. Okay. Antrang nimit and Bahirang nimit. Antrang is internal instrumental cause and Bahirang is external instrumental cause. The internal is called the primary instrumental cause and the external is called the secondary. Now supposing in this example of the furniture, okay, the chair that has been made, what we could consider as an internal instrumental cause. 1 minute. Okay, so the internal instrumental cause would be the carpenter would be the external instrumental cause, and the internal instrumental cause would be the tools that has been used by the carpenter. Okay. So this example is not fitting here because it's not involving any human. But if we are looking at an example, say an example of the manifestation of right belief, okay, or the example that Esha and Chetna gave in the beginning of the class. In that example, if you want to say what would be the internal instrumental cause, the subsidence of the deluding karma, monia karma is subsided. So that's why you are able to get involved in this kind of studies. Okay. So that would be the internal instrumental cause, the subsidence of the deluding karma, okay? And the external cause would be what? The text, the course, the teacher, Dev Shastra Guru, all these would be, Jinvani would be the external instrumental cause, okay? So now you understood? So now we will see some examples. Okay. Let's see the examples first and then we'll come back to the yes. So this is the example. You have to identify what is eternal principal cause, Trikali Upadan Karan. Okay. The second that you have to identify is immediate prior modification. Okay. That is the process or the Purusharth effort that has undergone. Okay. Eligibility of the moment. Okay. That the action has taken place, that is the eligibility of the moment. Then motivational instrumental cause and indifferent instrumental cause. Okay. So I'll set this example in the case of the furniture, then you will say all this. You have to try. Okay. So first, in the first case, wood is the eternal principal cause. Immediate prior modification is the whole process of the transformation of wood into chair. Okay. Eligibility of the moment is the chair itself, the final action. Okay. Motivational, carpenter is the motivational. Indifferent, hammer, saw, and the other four. Medium of motion, medium of rest, space, and time. Everyone clear? Now, I'll give one, I'll try one more. Okay. And then I will leave it to you. Any one of you can try. And I think hopefully you will be able to do it. Then we will come to the advantages and disadvantages. Okay. So share market falling caused me great loss. Okay. So who has incurred the loss? I have incurred the loss. Okay. So what is the eternal principal cause? Me, myself. Okay. What is the immediate prior modification? Why the share market fall? So we can give any of the reasons, like there was a COVID or there was a war between Iran and America recently that also caused the share market to fall globally. Okay. So immediate prior modification could be the war or the COVID, whatever you say. What is the eligibility of the moment? The loss that I have incurred, that is the action. Okay. And what is the motivational? What would be the motivational instrumental cause? Falling of the market. Okay. And what would be the indifferent instrumental cause? That would be the stock exchange and all the other four substances, the medium of motion, medium of rest, that we can say. Okay. So this is the example. Now the second example, the maid made the bread. Bai ne roti banai. Okay. So who will try? Who is coming forward to try? Aisha, you try. You know this.
So the eternal is because the flower, I guess. I don't
Yes,
know.
yes, very good.
The flower which can
Dough or the flour. Okay.
has the can transform into the bread. So
Right.
flower is the eternal.
Okay.
Um,
Or dough
the
also can be that.
yes, the dough.
Ah.
The
Hmm.
immediate prior is that the maid. I mean it has some you had to mix the flour with the
Process. The whole process from where
yeah
the wheat has been grind, and then the dough
Yeah.
was made, and then the final bread has come. So whole process before the bread has been made ready, the whole process would
Yeah.
come in the immediate
Immediate.
prior modification.
Yeah.
Then eligibility of the moment.
If the flour had to rise at that moment.
No, the chapati, the bread itself.
Okay, the
That
bread
is the
itself.
final product. Yeah.
And
Then
then the motivational is the maid had the desire to make the bread
yes, made.
and and was moving her hands. So she was making
So the rolling board, rolling pin, right?
yeah. And
And platform, stove, gas,
that
all.
is that
Yeah,
is the indifferent.
yeah, all these are indifferent. And on the +4, medium of motion, medium of rest, and space and time.
Yeah.
Very
Okay.
good, very good. Now growing a tree. Who would try? Chetna, you can try.
The seed would be the first one,
Yes, very good.
eternal.
Hmm.
The next would be the process in which we are planting the tree, like
Yes,
watering,
yes.
sun, and all that.
So watering sun will not come. The whole process from where seed
Yeah,
has
the
transformed
entire
into a tree.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
The internal process of the tree itself. Okay. We are not considering the sun, the water, because those are external things, right?
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay,
Internal process, whole internal process.
okay. And the motivational would be
Eligibility of the moment.
the eligibility of the moment is mm,
Tree,
maybe hello,
tree,
sorry,
tree
tree. Okay,
is the final product. No, tree is the final product, right?
yes.
So that is the action. So that is the eligibility of the moment.
Moment. Okay.
And then
The
motivational would be,
motivational would be the gardener who's planted,
yes.
and the indifferent is the entire process in which the plant has grown.
No, not the entire process. Indifferent would be sunlight, then
Only the
water.
instrument, sorry, not the
Right.
process, the instrument.
Yeah, instruments and the
Yes,
sun and the
yes.
medium of rest, medium of motion, space, time, all these things.
Okay.
Okay, good. I'm very happy you have understood this. Now, Mahendra, can try waves in the ocean or the gold ring you tried. Waves in the ocean we already covered. So
Yes.
gold ring.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah.
Okay. Waves in the ocean. The first one is eternal principle.
So you are on speaker.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Fine. I can still hear. Yeah, you go ahead. So what is the eternal principal cause in this case?
The water is the eternal principle cause.
What water?
The
Gold ring. We are talking of gold ring.
gold. The gold is the eternal principle
Right.
cause.
Right.
So the immediate prior modification is the whole process of converting the gold into the gold ring.
Right.
And then eligibility of the moment is the gold ring itself.
Yes, very good.
And then the motivational is the smith, the goldsmith who is who has
Yes.
to make the ring. And the indifferent is all the tools he is using, and also the dharma.
Yes. And the tools that goldsmith had used. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Very good. Good. So I think most of you are good. So we will see the different aspects of Nimit and the Tat Samiki Yogyata, which are very, very interesting. It's going to solve a lot of your problems. Okay. So first we will see the characteristics of the instrumental cause. Okay. So let me come back. Correct. So this is the characteristics of instrumental cause. Okay, so we will be studying something about the nimitt. Although the action does not take place because of instrumental cause, yet not without it either. So for any action to take place, there will always be an instrumental cause, because instrumental cause is not a particular entity. Whoever is a suitable cause, whoever is a suitable factor in the action that is taking place, that is called the instrumental cause. Okay. So as in the case of the furniture, the carpenter is the instrumental cause. The hammer, the saw, all these are instrumental cause. So action does not take place because of instrumental cause, yet not without the instrumental cause the action will take place. So for any action to take place, instrumental cause is an integral part of that action. You cannot rule out that instrumental cause. Okay. So this is the first point. The second, the notion of arranging or gathering an instrumental cause is futile. Can anyone answer why it is futile? Very good answer I want.
Because you have to go backwards. When the action takes place, then you know what the nimitt was.
Yes, very good. Very good. I'm so happy that I'm getting this answer from this class, that because there is no fixed instrumental cause. When the action takes place, then only we will say that this is an instrumental cause in this. If the action does not take place, then there is no instrumental cause. So the substance that does not transform itself into the action, but is assumed or deemed suitable for the intended activity. Okay. So there is no fixed nimitt. Okay. In case of Marichi, his grandfather was Adinath Bhagwan the Tirthankar. So he didn't manifest right belief at that point of time. And when he was in the lion's birth, okay, then there was nothing of that sort was there, but still he manifested the action of right belief, because the two monks, sky clad monks or sky walking monks came and gave him the preachings, and he manifested right belief. Okay. So it is futile to arrange for an instrumental cause, because when the right time will take, the instrumental cause will automatically be present. You don't have to go and chase that. Okay, arrange that, gather that. Okay. So lot of anxiety is going off, because the action is going to take place in myself according to my inner capability, and not because of the instrumental cause. Everyone is clear? Mahendran, you were asking something? Go ahead.
Yes, sir. So the indifferent, when we say limit, we also just now mentioned about all the tools, but the indifferent causes also earlier we talked. Is this two same or different?
I didn't get the last part of your question. Actually, if you can put a earphone, then it would be very clear. Now I am
Okay.
talking on earphone, so you are able to hear me very
Okay.
clearly.
Okay, I'll do that. I'll do it. Thank you.
Okay. We will take up your question again. You arrange for a earphone if you have, then we will take up. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. The third point, knowledge of the true instrumental cause is necessary. Okay. Although instrumental cause does not participate in the action directly. Okay. It's just mere presence is there. But you have to have the knowledge of true instrumental cause. As for example, if you want to become a doctor, then you need to have that you have to take admission in a medical college and not an engineering college. And if you want to become an engineer, you have to know that you have to get admission in an engineering college. Okay. So the knowledge of the true instrumental cause. Now, if you want to manifest right belief, then you need to have access to true God, true scriptures, and true monks. Okay. So all these is necessary. It is not that it is just merely a part of the action. The knowledge of the true instrumental cause is also necessary. That's why the discussion on nimit is also an integral part of any action. The last point, different instrumental cause for different individual. Okay, so this is not the last. We have one more slides on instrumental cause. Okay, so different instrumental cause for different individuals. That means, again in the same example of Marichi, okay. So Adinath Bhagwan could not become an instrumental cause for Marichi, although lakhs of people became right believer in the presence of Tirthankar Adinath Bhagwan. Okay, but Marichi, for Marichi, it was not the instrumental cause. And for Marichi, in the lion's birth, the two monks were the instrumental cause. Okay, so different instrumental cause for different individuals. So someone may be an instrumental cause for you. That doesn't mean that he will be an instrumental cause for else also. You might find this class very interesting, but someone will leave the group that, oh, it's all very boring, I can't understand anything. Okay, so different instrumental cause for different individuals. When the right time will come, you will automatically get the suitable instrumental cause on its own. The instrumental cause is primarily external substance. Okay, instrumental cause will always be an external substance. Okay, so as we have seen in the case of the furniture, the carpenter, the saw, hammer, that were not part of the wood. Okay, so it's always an external substance. Instrumental cause is a non-doer, akarta. Okay, because this instrumental cause don't manifest into action. Okay, it's just an instrumental cause. It's a mere presence. It is a suitable association at that point of time. Okay, so instrumental cause is always a non-doer. The doer is the upadan karan, principal cause. Okay, because this is an external substance and one substance cannot do anything in the another substance. So instrumental cause is always a non-doer. By understanding the instrumental cause, which is a non-doer, we stop manifesting attachments and aversion. Nobody is responsible if there is anything happening in our life. We cannot blame anybody. No blame game, right? Because he is a non-doer. It is our past deeds that have come into fruition. It is our past karma that has come into fruition. Okay, so there is no point in manifesting attachment and aversion towards anybody. Okay, because all instrumental causes are non-doer. The next point, the instrumental cause is visible, the principal cause is invisible. That's why we falter in understanding this principle, because what we see is the instrumental cause. Just now you joined the course and you got this transformation. So you will always say that, oh, because of this course, I got this insight. But no, it is not that. It's because just instrumental cause is visible. People tend to believe that it has happened because of the instrumental cause. Whereas the principal cause, your inner transformation that has happened is because of your inner readiness to understand these things. Okay, the right time has come. So that cause is invisible. So it is very subtle, very difficult to understand. Okay, so put in little bit of more efforts to understand this once for all. And if you understand this, you will be on, I can say, cloud 9. Okay, you'll be flying like flying. Nobody can make you miserable at any point of time. Okay, this is such a good principle. The true nimit points towards the upadan. Okay, so what is the true nimit? True nimit is that which points towards the upadan, because at the end of the day, it is the upadan through which your action is going to take place. Okay, that upadan has got the inherent capacity to transform and not the nimit. So the true nimit is always which points towards the upadan. So if you go to the true gods, true scriptures, and true monks, they will point towards your soul to get it into yourself, and that's where everything is going to happen. Okay, so if we manifest action, then only nimit is assumed suitable for that intended activity. Okay, true knowledge is that which accepts both Nimit also and Upadan also as the cause. If you accept only one cause, then also your knowledge would not be correct. Now we will see some of the characteristics of the eligibility of the moment. One of my favorite topics. All your curiosities will stop if you understand this very nicely. Okay. Every substance transforms only in accordance with its own inherent capacity or eligibility, that is yogyata. Capability or eligibility, that is yogyata. So every substance is independent, and any action that is taking place, any modification that is taking place in that substance is only because of its own inherent capability. Your own inherent capability to understand this principle is allowing you to understand this. Okay. First point. The second, that is the eligibility of the moment. Tat samay ki yogyata. Modes of all three times in a substance are predetermined. It is all fixed. What will happen in which modification, what would be the eligibility of the moment of each modification is predetermined, prefixed, and it will unfold in that manner. Okay. So this is also going to prove the principle that we learned last week, sequence bound modification. Okay. All the three times, the modification of all the three times are predetermined. And this is also proving the principle of sequentially bound modification or sequentially ordered modification, whatever you said, Kram Niyamit Paryay or Krambadh Paryay. Okay. So there could not be any changes in this because all are predetermined. So what you have to do? You have to just be an observer and not the doer. Okay. Now this one, if the substance and attribute are pure, why then is the mode impure? Okay. Because modification is coming out of this substance only. Okay. So if those are pure, then why the modification is impure? That's a very important question. Okay. Because each modification is independent. Okay. Each modification, as the substance is independent, attributes it is independent, modification is also independent, although it is of one moment. Okay. It is of one moment, but still it is independent. It is independent of one moment. Okay. So independent existence of each modification. Okay. First reason is this. It is not dependent either on the substance or the attribute. Okay. Nor it is dependent on the instrumental cause. Okay. So each modification is independently existing. The second reason is, in every modification, there are 6 cases. You know, Karta, Karam, Karan, Karta, Karam, Karan, Sampradan, Apadan, Adhikaran. So these are the 6 cases that we studied in grammar. There were 8 cases. Here in Jainism, it is 6 cases, and it's the inbuilt capability of each modification because of these 6 cases that the work of that modification happens independently because of its inbuilt capacity of 6 cases. Okay. So the substance and attribute may be pure, but the mode is impure because it is independent. Not all capabilities exist in all individuals. Okay. So there is no point in comparing. And if you compare, you will feel stress. You will feel depression. You will feel tension. Okay. So not all capabilities exist in all individuals. Each individual is different. It has got its different capabilities. I'll give you one example. There was a young lady, maybe around 35 years, very good looking. He was wearing all the ornaments, jewelries, and he suddenly got a heart attack and he died on the road. He fell on the road and he died, spot dead. Okay. So from there, one thief was passing and he saw that lady on the road with all the jewelries. And immediately he thought that if I get this jewelry, it will be very good. Then there was another person who was very lustful. He also saw that lady, and he thought that if I would have copulated with this lady, it would have been nice. Then there was one ascetic passing on, and he also saw that lady, and he thought that if he has done the welfare of his soul or not. So same object, but three different thinking. Okay, that also goes on to prove that the action takes place according to the principal cause and not according to the instrumental cause. That same object was instrumental cause for three different people, and all the three thought differently. Why? Because the eligibility of the moment is different from all different people. Okay, so this is also an example that says that not all capabilities exist in all individuals. Each individual is different. He will think differently. His effort will be different. His eligibility will be different. Okay, so this point. The next slide. Yogyata or capability does not change through words, actions, or thoughts. Okay, these are all external causes, instrumental causes, words, actions, thoughts. Okay, the capability does not change. Okay, whatever has to happen always happens. Okay, so because of these also we can prove the principle of sequentially ordered modification. Okay, there is no surprise in this universe. Okay, Sita ji, when he went to the heaven after his death, after her death, she went to the heaven and become a Prati Indra there. And then he came back and he affected afflictions on Ram. He was into meditation. So now he was a, of course, celestial being, Dev. So he tried to disturb Ram in his meditation. And Ravan was in the third Narak. So he went there to give him preachings. So this is the surprise of this universe. We don't know who will transform in what way. Okay. A friend becomes a foe becomes a friend, all these things happening around us. So the capability does not change through words, actions, or thoughts. Whatever has to happen always happens. Now, without waiting for nimittas, without hiding one's power, inherent power, okay, making effort according to one's yogyata, capability, eligibility, and remain satisfied in the knowing self. This is the balance that we have to try. Without waiting for the nimittas, because there is no nimit as such, no fixed nimit as such. When you transform, then something will be considered as a nimit. Without holding one's power. So whatever you have the capacity, you exercise that power. Okay. Making effort according to one's eligibility and remain satisfied in whatever happens. Because at the end of the day, eligibility of the moment is the final outcome. There could not be any questions on that. Okay, why this has happened, why this has happened? No, it is the eligibility of the moment. It has to happen. So it has happened. So if you remain satisfied in knowing the self, you are the most balanced person. You are doing the spiritual practice. This is in fact the spiritual practice. And this manifests into happiness always and always. The last one. And action. Okay, so one more slide on eligibility. Okay. An action does not occur before its yogyata ripens. Okay. And once it ripens, the action cannot be stopped. Okay. So you have to be relaxed, no tension, no stress. No depression, because when the eligibility will ripen, things will happen, action will take place, and if it is not ripen, the action will not take place. Unnecessary, don't feel stress or depression, don't be in tension, okay? Remain absolutely cool, relaxed, patience, okay? And once the action, once the action ripens, once the eligibility ripens, the action cannot be stopped. So in both the cases, we have to be in the happy space. The next slide. We are merely the knower of the yogyata of self and others. Because we cannot change our eligibility, we cannot change others' eligibility. So by default, we are the observer, we are the knower and seer of the eligibility of the self and others. We cannot change it. Okay. So this also goes on to prove that sequentially ordered modification. And this leads us to the conclusion that we need to enjoy every moment of our life because we are only the knower. The moment you remain a knower, you are always enjoying. And the moment you become a doer, you are suffering. Okay. The next point, when the eligibility of the moment, the Tat Samay Ki Yogyata is understood and believed, all questions are answered. No question will be pending. Your all curiosity would be answered by understanding this eligibility of the moment, because the action takes place only when there is an eligibility of the moment, and when there is an eligibility of the moment, it always happens, nothing stops. So this has, when will this happen? When this will happen? When I will get married? When I will get a job? When I will die? When I will do this? When I will do that? No, and no questions. Everything is answered. Eligibility of the moment is the final answer of all our questions. Okay. So when Tat Samay Ki Yogyata is understood and believed, all questions are answered. Omniscience is indirectly attained. Although we are right now at the householder stages, but we are as good as the omniscience, because omniscience also knows everything. He doesn't interfere in anything. And we are also knowing things and we are not changing or interfering into anything. Okay. So omniscience is indirectly attained. Last point, remaining satisfied in the mode of eligibility of the moment or the Tat Samay Ki Yogyata is the greatest effort. Okay. So greatest effort would be understanding this principle of Tat Samay Ki Yogyata, eligibility of the moment, and then remaining satisfied, because you have no other option. Even if you feel restless, certain things have not happened, but it is not going to happen. So unnecessary, why are you feeling restless? Why you cannot be satisfied with the outcome, you know? So remaining satisfied in the mode of this eligibility of the moment is the greatest effort. If you see these games, sports, sometimes they win and sometimes they lose. The captain is so cool. Even if the bowler is leaking runs, he is cool, because he knows that if my day is good, I will win. And if my day is not there, I will make silly mistakes. The catches would not be taken up. Okay. Something would happen and I will lose. So with practice, they also become very seasoned and they are also very relaxed. Okay. So remaining satisfied in the mode of Tat Samay Ki Yogyata is the greatest effort. Okay. The other reason for those players is because they are getting money in millions. So they feel if I win or lose, my package is fixed. So, but here we are understanding this principle so that in any situation, we will be able to remain cool, remain satisfied. Okay. And that is the greatest effort. Now, who is the controlling factor? So we have already discussed this. Controlling factor of nature is the eternal principal cause. Controlling factor of process is the immediate prior modification or the effort. And the controlling factor of time is the eligibility of the moment. Since the action takes place on the right time, so this eligibility of the moment, we can say is the final controlling factor. Okay. Final controlling factor for the action to take place at the appropriate moment. Okay. So yeah, now the other topic, 5 samvai. So we have already understood. You can read these definitions: nature, effort, then attainment of time, and destiny. These two are included in the eligibility of the moment. And the nimit is same in both the cases. So you can read those definitions. It's all the already explained. Now I will just why I have included two topics in one, in the cause and effect relationship. So one is the instrumental cause and principal cause that we have studied now. And the other is concomitant factors, 5 concomitant factors, phi samvai. So we will see a comparison between the two. The eternal principal cause, which is the language of the Nimit Upadan. Correspondingly, there is a nature in the 5 concomitant factors. It is the same. Then immediate prior modification in this Nimit Upadan is the effort in the 5 samvai. Eligibility of the moment here is time and destiny over there. And instrumental cause is the same in both the cases. So we have understood both the principles. Now, something more on the 5 samvai that I wanted to discuss. So this comparison has been done, and I think this was the last slide. So let me finish with something on the 5 concomitant factors. So 5 concomitant factors are the 5 causes which are responsible for the action that is taking place. Okay. All 5 these causes have equal weightage. Okay. So among these 5 causes, 4 are not in our hand. Only effort is in our hand, and that's why the preachings are being given, because the efforts in our hand. If the efforts were also predestined, then there was no reason to give do these preachings. Okay. So effort is in our hand, and that is where we can make the difference. Okay. So all causes have equal weightage. Out of these 5 causes, effort is only in our hand. Okay. But when we can explain one of the causes at a time. Okay. So if I am talking from the perspective of instrumental cause, okay, then I will say, just because of this course, my life has changed. This is a life transforming course for me. Okay. So this statement is valid from the instrumental cause side. But the same statement, if I want to say from the attainment of time, okay, so then I would say when the right time came, I got this course and my life transformed. When we want to say same thing from the perspective of destiny, I will say that this transformation has come just because of this course as an instrumental cause, my nature, which is the inherent cause. Of course, the right time has also come, and the instrumental cause is also there. Okay. So the speech has limitation. It can explain one cause at a time, but in your understanding, you have to understand that all the 5 causes are equally present in the same moment. Although the talk is being made from only one perspective, but other 4 causes are also there, and that's how the action is taking place. And action is not taking place because of the one cause that is being explained. Okay. So this is to be understood very deeply. Otherwise, you feel that the action is happening because of only one of the causes. But no, it is not so. All causes are equal. They have equal weightage. Okay. So out of these 5 causes, 4 are principal causes and 1 is instrumental causes, which is always an external substance. So that also you know. So this is all we have to say. Our time is over. I have taken 5-6 minutes more, but anyway, we have to finish this, and we will do the Mangalacharan first, and then we will take up the questions and answers. Okay. निज निधि निज में बताई, यह अनंत उपकार है। उसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना सत बार है। उसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना सत बार।